This week's episode is brought to you by Capital Financial Advisory Group for all your retirement needs.
Broadcasting from coast to coast, it's the Financial Safari with your host, Coach Pete D'Arruda. You'll hear from some of the nation's top financial professionals. So stick around and find out how to make it through the jungle of the financial world, right here on the Financial Safari.
Welcome to Financial Safari, an engaging conversation we always have. It is entertaining, but it's also, and most importantly, informational. I'm consumer advocate Dave Perkins, along with America's wealth coach and best-selling author Coach Pete D'Arruda, and one of Coach Pete's trusted local advisors, Greg Berry. And gentlemen, welcome.
How you doing, Dave?
Doing great. Great to be here. Great to be here.
Well, I thought today we'd take a step back because we get caught up in the day-to-day sometimes. We forget about the most important things. So let's talk about the 7 blind spots that people overlook when we're talking about retirement. I mean, when we talk about retirement planning, financial planning, there's 7 necessary things people need to pay attention to that we, Greg, overlook.
Oh, that, without a doubt. Yeah? It's so easy because sometimes you just keep on going through life not paying attention to anything,
Yeah. How about written goals? That's number 1 on my list. Not having written goals, like writing your goals down. Do you have a better chance of reaching your goals if you write them down?
It works so much better when you write it down.
Yeah. Why is that, you think, Dave?
I don't know. Even a to-do list I do at work.
Yeah.
If I can check it off, for some reason, I seem to be more productive.
There's
Greg,
there's an accountability to that also.
So your accountability to yourself, I guess, if you write it down.
Right.
It's not somebody else, but it's you telling yourself, you better do this, or I'm going to be mad at you.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is my benchmark on my goals.
Plus, it gives you ways to be happy points. Instead of saying, if I don't do all these check marks, I'm going to be in trouble, say each one I check off, I should be happy. I should reward myself a little bit because I'm getting to where I'm supposed to be. Sort of like that thermometer when United Way used to have this thing in my town in Laurinburg, North Carolina. It was a big thermometer.
Oh,
They
on
the goals. And when they got more money, they'd go out there. I was with the Boy Scouts. We'd go out and paint it up there. We painted up one day. So we got it all the way to 100,000, which was a lot for Laurinburg, North Carolina.
Especially way back then.
Out there with the little red paintbrush. Yeah, but that's what we want to meet our goals, and we want to reward ourselves. We were happy every time we went out there and painted up another notch, another 10,000 at a time.
Heck
So
yeah.
anytime you check something off that's important for your long-term stability and your protection of the income and your just peace of mind and knowing everything's going to be fine in retirement, you should be happy every time you do just one little thing. Every little step gets you a lot closer. Neil Armstrong, we know about his one big step onto the moon, but a lot of people don't see all the millions of steps he did before he got there.
You could see his footprints.
Yeah, well, are they still there?
I think so.
Well, we want to make sure to leave a footprint on your retirement in a good way. We want to have these mile markers, knowing that we're already at a certain place. We dig that trench in retirement, go forward, and we protect our income. So we can do that for folks. Tell folks how they can do that. Absolutely.
Just call on your screen, the number on your screen, to reach out for a comprehensive review. They're going to make sure that you don't miss these blind spots. I know, Coach, when I'm driving, I'm always looking, of course, over my left shoulder. And sometimes you see a little bit of a car that you may have missed.
Are you looking for a state trooper?
Well, that's it.
You need to be looking all around if you're a state trooper. But no, you have to be careful. And some people's cars have these blind spot identifiers, like it'll make a noise and it'll blink.
I love those.
So your mind does. But let's say you have 2 cars, and one of your cars has this and the other one doesn't, and you get in one car one day and it's one that doesn't, but you assume you're in the one that does.
Right.
And you're not paying attention. Exactly. So that's why we always need to trust but verify. And we help folks make sure, especially when we're talking about the financial world, we need to trust our plan. We need to verify the plan is working as we said it was supposed to. We need to check that every single year to make sure it's on track. And, when you're riding down the road, we have these mile markers. Mm-hmm. And if you see the mile markers going down on your way to a place, that's a good thing. But what if the mile markers kept going up and you were trying to get to a destination? It kept saying the destination, let's say you wanted to go from Raleigh to Wilmington. And the first mile marker you said, it said you were 100 miles to Wilmington. The next one you saw, it said 120 miles to Wilmington.
You're going the wrong way.
Yeah, exactly.
But you need to know that, right? So what if you didn't see a mile marker for a long time, and when you saw the next one, it said 300 miles to Wilmington? So that's why it's important to find out right away, because you'll hear the car tell you, U-turn if possible.
Right.
Well, it is possible in the financial world to make a U-turn and get on the right path. And we offer that every single day. And you'd be amazed how many people think they're going the right way but something just isn't quite right. So we want to make sure that everybody is on the right path.
Or if you have GPS, it says redirecting. So what we need, Coach, is a financial GPS.
Well, we have that.
A retirement GPS.
Yep, and we got a retirement compass too, making sure that you know exactly where you're going. Back in the day, they look for the North Star. To me, you want that financial North Star. You want to always be pointing north. Of course, my name's Peter, so some people have called me Peter North every now and then. So it's very, very important to make sure we're always going the right direction, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Advancing and protecting our money, going north at all times, looking for that North Star, having a planner that can point you in the right direction. And if you're going the wrong direction, get you right back to where you're supposed to. It's not rocket science, is it? But it is important that we pay attention to our financial strategies and we don't fall for some of the games and gimmicks we see all the time. Crypto, a lot of people get in, get disappointed, get out with less. Be very careful with these crypto. Gold and silver, same thing. Good portions of your portfolio, very, very small slivers. Nothing wrong with having gold and silver or crypto, but very small pieces only after we put our core part of our portfolio together. The core, by the way, folks, is going to be that money that's going to advance every single year. It's going to protect that advancing. And then when you decide it's going to give you a lifetime income, you can never outlive, and neither can your spouse. If you pass away, your spouse continues to get that income. If both of you pass away, whatever is left in there will go on to the next of kin. If you live for a long, long time and your balance goes to zero, you continue to get your income. Yes, you continue to get income even though you don't have any money in the account. That is the beauty of a lifetime income product. And you need to find out about having that strategy, Greg, in your plan, don't you?
Oh, it is huge, because if you can literally count on that money coming in
And you can.
every month for the rest of your life.
What do we call it, Dave? A financial
Fill up.
and retirement
Ding, ding.
autopilot. So we need to make sure we have this strategy in place. It makes a lot of sense, but more importantly, it does take the worry out of planning and living in retirement, doesn't it? When you know there's always a check coming, no matter, you could blow the money one month to the next.
Here it comes.
Another one's
It's like
coming.
being at a
Another
trust
check.
fund,
We
you know?
call it like, when you pay the bills, and we used to do this all the time. Nowadays, I use electronic banking, but back in the day, you'd begrudgingly sit at your desk and write the checks out, put them in an envelope, put a stamp on the envelope. What would you do? You walk to the mailbox. What would you do? You put the envelopes in, and then you would put what? You put the red flag up on the mailbox, which told the mailman you had some money to send out to somebody else. What it did is to tell the mailman to pick up the bad news, because he would take the checks and they would scatter it across the world and they would cash them, and now you'd have less money in your bank account.
Exactly.
Wouldn't it be great if the mailman would come every single month and put a green flag on top of the mailbox and insert a paycheck into the mailbox? The green flag on the mailbox will put you in control of retirement. That's what we call it, a financial fill-up. The green flag on the mailbox, and every single one of you watching needs at least one, if not 2, 3, or 4 of these streams of income that will come to you and your family all the way through retirement. Doesn't it take a lot of worry out of living in retirement if money's going to keep coming every single month for the rest of your life?
It's like when you're working, you can count on the paycheck as long as you don't mess up.
This is your own paycheck, which we call a pension. You know, Social Security is a pension, which is an annuity.
Right.
So this is an annuity plan strategy to give you streams of income you can never outlive. Greg, is there anything better when we're talking about safety, preservation of principal, and lifetime income that we've ever seen?
To this day, Coach, I have not seen anything better than what we're just talking about.
If there was,
right now.
we'd be offering that too.
We'd be talking about that as well.
It's all part of a plan and a strategy, making sure to put you ahead of the curve, folks, and making sure that you have your retirement income that you deserve. And it's just important. We call it the Coach Pete's Power Plan. 22 steps here in the total retirement plan. We're going to put that together for the next 10 of you who call right now. Guess what? At no fee or obligation, Dave's going to tell you how to do that.
Call the number on your screen and get your own Coach Pete's Power Plan. It's wonderful, but it's not the same for everyone. It's custom. It's the custom approach in a fiduciary manner, and it's about your retirement, getting that financial fill up. Call the number on your screen, and you'll walk away with a lot of great information about you.
Dave, also 2 books that I've written when they come in. 2 of the books that I've written.
Just ask for them.
Yep.
And stay with us for more Financial Safari.
Memories with Grandpa.
My first job.
My 4th job.
Crazy road trips.
Our first date. Meeting our son.
Exploring our world.
Our world. Family and friends.
Our
Our
special song.
song.
Secure your retirement by meeting with a financial advisor.
go to yourmoneydesk.com. We have a treasure trove of resources on the site where you can explore concepts like this and just get to know your own retirement a little bit better as you head into it.
One other site is retirementhealthcenter.com.
Yes,
we'll put them on the screen here, retirementhealthcenter.com. Videos, we try to keep them 4 minutes or less.
We do.
Because attention spans these days are about 4 minutes or less. And so, but they explain about anything you could ever thought of. We've done them on like everything from crypto to safe money to risk money to retirement income.
Both of these sites now have multiple calculators on them, so be sure to head over to yourmoneydesk.com.
Retirementhealthcenter.com. I think Shakespeare once said, to lose or not to lose? That is the question. No, he didn't say that. He said something else similar. This episode, we're going to talk about a very important topic, fixed indexed annuities versus variable annuities. So let's give you a quick overview of variable annuities. The definition of how they work basically is a investment option sub-account vehicle with an insurance company annuity wrapper around it. So you get some tax advantages, but you're in an investment account just like you were in a brokerage account. It has sub-accounts, it has risks, and it has potential for higher returns, which is a good thing, but it also has potential for higher fees and higher losses, and you need to understand that. So let's define the basic mechanism of a fixed indexed annuity. It's an insurance company product that lets you not be indirectly in the market, but share in the gains of a certain index or 2 or 3 indexes, whatever you select, and you get to share in the gains. You never share in the losses. So if the market goes down, you get a 0 that year. If the market goes up, let's say the market went up 20%, you get 8 to 10%, something like that, depending on what product you're in. So you're not going to get rich, but you're not going to get poor. My clients love that fact right there. They also have income guarantees on there too. So you can get a certain amount of income from your fixed indexed annuity you can never outlive. And so that is a very big part of income planning. So there's a lot of confusion about the different types of annuity. And there's difficulty in choosing between fixed indexed and variable annuities. Now keep in mind, variable annuities can lose money. Fixed indexed annuities cannot due to the market. You need to realize that before making this decision, because variable annuities are loaded with what I call financial termites. Too many fees, commissions, expenses, and risk. And if you don't know what you're signing up for, and if you think you're signing up for safety and you're getting a variable annuity, you're going to be exposed to a lot of things you didn't realize. Nothing wrong with variable annuities if you know what you're getting into. Keep that in mind. But I have been licensed to offer variable annuities for about 32 years, and I've never offered, not one has made sense. I've never offered one at all to any client. There's comparative information everywhere, but the most important aspect you need to remember is that fixed indexed annuities let you share in the gain of the market, whatever the market index is. There's a lot of different ones out there. There's a lot of different insurance companies, a lot of different products. So you need to get with a fiduciary firm who understands everything that's out there, who can consult with you, find out what you are looking for, and then finding the right fit that's out there. Now we need to look at different things and terminologies that are in the annuities and how returns are linked to the market index. All right, let's start with caps. Cap is what it is. You get in a certain fixed indexed annuity, it says we're going to cap your gains at 8% in the index. So let's say the index goes to 20% that next year. Guess how much you get? 8%. 8%. Let's say the very next year the market goes down 25%. How much do you lose? Nothing. Nothing. Because remember, with a fixed indexed annuity, you share in the gain. You don't give any back when the market goes down. So you're going to keep your return. You're not going to go backwards. Let's look at spreads. The spreads say, hey, we're going to keep 2% of the gains and you get everything over that. So let's say that in this instance, say you return 12% in the contract, you'd get to keep 12 minus 2, because the spread was 2, you'd get to keep 10%. That's what a spread is. And participation rate is the next one. Let's say you have a 80% participation rate with the S&P 500. I've seen that before. All right, so the S&P 500 returns, let's say 10%. You get 80% of that return, you get 8%. So it's pretty easy to understand if you understand the rules going in. Again, the most important thing is you get to share in the gains, but you don't share in the losses. And once you have a gain, it's locked in, so you're always going up or staying even, whereas if you're in the market, you're doing this. So to me, for some money that I know that I'm going to need for retirement, and I know I need income for retirement, I'm going to have that in a fixed indexed annuity with an income rider, knowing I have a certain amount of income in the future that I'll never be able to outlive. So there's a lot of good, cool add-on riders for long-term care and different things like that. And you need to make sure you understand everything before you get into it. There's so many different products and strategies out there. Make sure you get with a fiduciary advisor team who understands all the good, the bad, the ugly, and the key differences. Now, a couple of the key differences is risk and return profile comparison. If you're someone who likes to take a lot of risk, a variable annuity may be for you. Now, in my experience in the financial world, everyone I talk to says they can take some risk until they actually lose some money. When you lose money, that's when the rubber hits the road there, and you realize maybe I couldn't take that risk. I try to do the thinking ahead of time for a lot of my clients because I know what people really want. You don't want to lose money, you want some gains, and you want to make sure you never have any problems with income in retirement. That's where the fixed index annuity comes out far ahead. You've got the guarantees, you've got protection levels. You just make sure you understand with the variable annuity, you're going to have a lot of fees and charges. With a fixed annuity, you shouldn't have any fees and charges unless you add different things onto that annuity, which you're able to. Sort of like when you buy a car, you can go into the back room and you can add on different things. You add like seat protection or whatever, a tire protection. So if you get with an advisor who understands what's out there, he or she can find you the annuity that doesn't charge for that and has it included anyway many times. So you need to make sure you understand everything there, including withdrawal options and flexibility. And that's when we go through, hey, we design annuities to give you income in the future. You can withdraw as soon as 1 year later. You can leave the money alone though for 10, 20, 30, 40 years and then start taking money. It's all up to you. They're customized to what you're looking for. They're very suitable for a lot of folks who are looking for lifetime income. Variable annuities, on the other hand, are not suitable for some folks, especially for folks who need every single penny they've earned to not go away because they need that money to grow because they're going to need that and more to give a comfortable lifetime income to them and their family. So understand what fixed annuities are, who should consider these. I say anyone from 40 to 80 who wants to have some money in a place they don't have to worry about losing and wants to be able to share in gains of the market, but also wants to have lifetime income they can never outlive. The fixed index annuity answers all three of the main questions we have in the financial world, and it does help with the retirement dilemma, making sure that you have more income than you need in retirement instead of the other way around, not having enough. So get a clear understanding of all annuity types before you put any money in. And that gives you the ability to make informed decisions, which is based on your individual needs. I have 32 years experience. I'm a retirement income certified professional from the American College. I am trained to show you the best income options. And when we're talking about retirement, there's no better tool in retirement than retirement income. Folks, if you're interested in getting a review or finding out more about certain indexed annuities, variable annuities, just want that second opinion that you can depend on. You see the contact information on the screen? We're here to help you. We're always here. We're going to be back in a couple days with another episode as well. Coach Pete here, signing off.
Be professional. Be noticed.
Be effective. Be on all streets.
Be unrivaled. Be engaging.
Be respected.
Beat the competition. Be yourself. Be proactive. Be happy.
Be happy.
Experience TV. Radio.
Social.
Podcast. Be broadcasting experts.
We've all encountered that fast-talking salesman, whether it's buying a car, maybe a new house, and it can be very overwhelming.
I'm in the financial arena now 31 years. Wow. And so talking to folks every single day, and there seem to be the same problems that existed with a lot of folks. The same dirty tricks were played on a lot of different people. So I took notes, and I found all the warning signs, or all the ones that I identified, and all the dirty tricks that are played, and put them in a book.
To find out more or to get a copy of the audiobook, just visit fineprintfiasco.com and stay tuned because we have more content on the way.
Do you hear that? That's me enjoying my retirement. Traveling around the world to play golf, where I want, when I want, with whomever I want. even got some customized clubs. Because years ago, I rolled over my IRA with the help of a local trusted advisor. Contact us to get started today. This is a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review to help educate and enlighten.
Financial Safari, the show that gets you excited about your retirement when planned properly and when knowing what to anticipate. And that's where Coach Pete and the team come. Coach Pete is America's Wealth Coach, best-selling author, Coach Pete D'Arruda, and of course, one of the team members, Coach Pete's local trusted advisor, Greg Barry, and I'm consumer advocate Dave Perkins. Great to be here. You get us all pumped about retirement.
Are you
Coach.
Excited?
I am.
You sound excited.
Absolutely.
You know what I did? We were talking about the 7 financial blind spots on the first segment. We were supposed to cover 7. Guess how many we covered?
What?
So I promise, folks, we'll cover 6 blind spots right here, right quick.
Okay.
It's a North Carolina phrase, right quick.
Right quick.
Grew up in Laurinburg, North Carolina, which was right on the border of North and South Carolina. Where did I get my fireworks? So if I grew up 6 miles from McCall, South Carolina, and I'm in Laurinburg, North Carolina, where do you think we went and got our fireworks?
You went over the border.
Yeah, we did. We went south of the border, like Pedro would say.
South of the border, yeah.
Well, we didn't go to south of the border. That's where you get ripped off. But,
that place is creepy,
we went
man.
to McCall.
Yeah.
But the fireworks in South Carolina could fly and bang. The ones in North Carolina were not allowed to fly or make any noise. So they're sparklers.
Snakes and sparklers.
Sparklers. That's what it is, the fireworks.
But we want to make sure that we can, at any time in retirement, buy fireworks if we want to. How's that? So we have to have a good retirement plan. But the blind spots we talked about, the first one was not having written goals. If you don't write it down, it might not happen. If you write it down, at least you're accountable to yourself. But we talked about rewarding yourself when you accomplish things on your to-do list, not punishing yourself for not doing all the things on your to-do list. Important, right?
Oh, yeah.
Baby steps. Like one of my books, 7 baby steps.
Measurable spots.
Yeah, and rewarding yourself, feeling good about yourself, making sure that you are not punishing yourself if you got 7 out of 8 and you're mad you didn't do the 1.
Exactly.
Dave, you should be happy, right? That's a good momentum you're building.
Yeah. So, and you talked about the financial fill-up, that reliable income, kind of like the old age pensions, and maybe even better.
Well, I think so, because you can control that, and you control when you start it, and it's portable, like old pensions. If you stop working at one company, you got to leave that pension there, go to the next company, and hopefully have a pension there. When you retire, you get 2 pension checks. I like the fact that you are totally in control of your own individual pensions here, that you supplementally plan on your own, using 401k money, rolling it in your own personal pension. Now you know with certainty what kind of income you're going to have. We call it naming your income. You tell us how much income you'd like to have in retirement, and we'll tell you based on what you have put aside now, if it's possible, if you put it in the right place.
Yeah.
How's that?
Right.
Or we'll tell you what you need to do to get to where you need to be. But first of all, we need to decide what is B. What are you going to need in retirement? So what is your B? Well, I'm going to need this when I be in retirement.
Right.
So that's the, I just call it B. But where are you going to be? We go from A to B. Well, A is working, B is retirement, A to B. So your B, what are you going to want to do in retirement? Do you want to play golf? Do you want to travel? Do you want to sit at home? Do you want to buy a boat? I mean, there's so many things. Do you want to buy a camper? I've had a couple people I know. They sold their house, bought a RV, can't call it a camper now. It's a nice house on wheels, basically. And they travel around with their set of friends. They've got a new set of friends now. They're all RV folks.
It's a whole community, man.
That's right. Some people like to cruise through retirement, no pun intended. They basically get rid of all their belongings into storage and then go on a cruise ship for a few years. You've got 3 meals a day or any kind of meal anytime you want.
If you live in a place like New York City, it's cheaper.
Well, think about it. You've got health care on the cruise ship. You've got everything you need.
It's actually cheaper than long-term care. It can be.
There was one cruise I went on years ago. They had Ben & Jerry's ice cream, all you could eat on there, and they made homemade waffle cones.
Wow.
So you have to be careful. You have to watch your diet on some of these cruises, Dave.
Oh, man.
You do.
Have you, Greg, you've been on a cruise. How much weight did you gain on a cruise?
Fortunately, mine was only 4 days, so it wasn't nearly as bad.
So you only gained 5 pounds.
Exactly.
Dave, you been on a cruise before?
I have. What saved me was that alcohol was not included in the all-inclusive. All-inclusive price.
But you can pack some pounds on with the ice cream and dessert bars.
Sure you can,
All right, let's talk about the second of the blind spots, okay? Government programs and pensions. And that's what we were talking about a little bit. If you don't have your own income plan, you might not have a pension. Like back in the day, my grandparents had a pension. So they'd worked for 30 or 40 years. And then when they stopped working, they'd start getting a check every single year for the rest of their life. So it's called a pension. Well, those days went away. Back, we've seen them in the 70s, 80s, 90s. They've disappeared almost. And the companies now are encouraging you to save on your own through the 401k, 403b, TSP, thrift savings plan, these kind of things we see. So it's up to you to put the money away. You get a tax write-off to do it. So if you have been smart enough to put money away, now you've got a balance there. That's a great thing, Greg, isn't it?
Yeah. You got to be able to take that money that you have in your balance. They talk about that in the movie. We've always mentioned the baby boomer dilemma.
Great
it's
movie.
like you have all these assets, but now you got to take these assets and turn it into real income, Coach.
So we show folks how to do that. Based on what you have, we'll show you how to put it in the right place and have that lifetime income. By the way, Doug Orchard, the maker of the movie, and I are buddies, and he's given me some codes where you can watch the movie. It's $20. You can buy the movie at Amazon, The Baby Boomer Dilemma, where we have QR codes. We can get you a special code where in the beauty of your own home, in the privacy of your own home, you can watch the movie on your own. You can supply your own popcorn and save yourself a whole lot of money. So if you'd like to view that movie, what do we got? 25 of the codes? We've got 25 codes right now. So call right now, text right now. We'll make sure to get you that code. We're not going to bug you. Just get that code. If you have any questions about the movie or whatever, let us know. But I think it's a movie. I think everyone should be watching this movie. Don't you, Dave?
Absolutely.
Give them that information.
10,000 baby boomers a day retiring, so it's very important. Yeah, just ask for it when you call in, and certainly ask to schedule a consultation at no cost, no obligation. Just call the number on your screen. What about that gremlin inflation, that blind spot?
Yeah, inflation's one of the blind spots, number 3. And we wrote this blind spot series, or the 7 blind spots, 15 years ago.
Oh.
And 15 years ago, I've been screaming about inflation. I said, never underestimate the power in a negative way of inflation. And now we're seeing it, right?
We are seeing it.
We've been putting that, we factored inflation into our plans at all times, and we always do that too. So you need to make sure you have inflation protected plan, at least having your money grow to combat what inflation could do.
Whenever I do a retirement plan for anybody, Coach, I always factor in inflation. And basically, we look at over the past 100 years, we're at 3.84%.
Yeah, we factored in.
But the thing is, though, is you got to also, you have those outliers out there, like those 7-8 years.
The black swan events, we call them. You don't see many black swans. When you do, you never forget it.
Yeah.
Now, another thing is taxes. There's a misconception, number 4, blind spot, is people say taxes will go down when I retire. True or false, Greg?
That's not necessarily true at all. No, absolutely not. Especially if you're taking, let's say you have your 401k and you're taking money out of your 401k, Coach. Every penny coming out, unless, of course, if it's a Roth, is a taxable scenario.
Well, most people, though, they're saying a lot of planners say, well, just don't take as much money out, you won't pay as much taxes. To me, I want my retirees to have to pay more taxes than ever in retirement. That means they're getting more income than they ever dreamed of.
Right.
I always argue where people said you only need about 70% of your working income in retirement because you have Social Security to make up for the rest. I say, heck no. You need about 120 to 130% of your working income in retirement in addition to Social Security.
I like that.
Because we never know what's going to happen. Yeah. And I'd rather have more money than not enough money. And when you're in retirement, what is every day? A Saturday or a Monday? It's a Saturday.
It's a Saturday.
So we need to make sure to have a plan and a planning team that understands this. Been doing this 32 years, folks. And the most important thing here is to make sure that you're in the right position for the right time of your life. You may have built some money. That's a great thing. Let's not see you lose that money you've already built because you left it in the place it should not have been. Now, we'll put together for you Coach Pete's Power Plan. If you're one of the first 10 callers right now, we've got a goodie bag of things everything we've talked about on the show. You'll also get today, including the Baby Boomer Dilemma code to watch that movie in the privacy of your own home, and a couple books that I've written as well. Dave, tell folks how they can get this prize pack.
Coach Pete's Power Plan, comprehensive review. It is about you, and that's great. Getting you excited about your retirement. Don't forget to remind them about Coach's offer on the Baby Boomer Dilemma too when you call in, and that's the number on your screen. Thanks so much for joining us. For Coach Pete, Greg Berry, and Dave Perkins signing off for Financial Safari this week. We'll see you next week.